go. All right, Tom, if you are ready, I am ready. Get the microphone on. All right, here we go. A 3, a 2, a 1. Hey everybody, we are here at the 2017 Big Bright Minds Conference put on by the fine folks at Filene Research Institute in a wonderful town called Austin, Texas, where it's looking more like Austin today.
It's been a little snappy.
A little snappy indeed. We are with Tom Booz from Billings Federal Credit Union. How are you, Tom?
Doing fine, thanks.
Good, good. You've recently gone through the Filene's I3 program?
Well, actually, not recently. I was in 1.0.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
I don't even remember what year it was. 2003, maybe.
Wow.
The first part of the inaugural group of I3.
I apologize. Congratulations. So, what was your experience going through kind of the inaugural?
You know what was interesting back then? Bob Hoyle was the CEO of Filene.
Yeah.
And Mark Meyer who's the current CEO, ran the I3 program. And I think back in those early days, we didn't really, there was no process involved. It was just let's show up and figure out
kind of winging it a little bit.
Let's show up and figure out what we can do to change the world.
Right on.
So yeah, totally winging it. I think those first couple of years, and since then they've done so much work to try to refine their processes and create a real innovation machine. But it was great fun, and that when I look back on that experience, it was the people. I don't remember how many folks we had in that inaugural group. 26, 28 folks.
That's a good number.
The relationships that I made in that process. I have lifelong friends, some that I get to catch up with, usually once or twice a year, and this is one of the spots.
Yeah.
Great, just a tremendous network of not only professional resources, but friends, people that, I'm proud to call friends, some of the great bright minds of the industry.
Indeed, sticking with the theme.
It's just a fabulous, I've said before, I think it was probably the single most defining professional experience was being part of that I3 group, just because of the doors that it opened to future opportunities.
Well, that segues my next question. Is like, how did it influence your career? How did it impact it?
When I first applied for I3, and I think it was 15 years ago when they first launched this project. When I first applied, I remember interviewing with Mark on the phone, and I said, well, if you're looking for people that are just feel self-important and like they're a big deal, you should probably just count me out, because that's not going to be my thing. I just want to see if I can do something to help.
Right.
And I remember I hung up the phone. I was like, well, that's that. I won't be part of that deal. And sure enough, eventually, was fortunate enough to be selected.
Mark was like, come on in.
Yeah. The reason that it I think helped define me. I'm just a guy from a credit union in Billings, Montana. It helped open me up to all the possibilities. And one of the things that it taught me is that we all have the same mission, whether it's an $8 million credit union on Long Island or my $150 million credit union in Billings, Montana. We all have the same mission. We all have the same goals. Try to help members.
Right.
Try to move the needle, improve people's lives.
Yeah.
So it reinforced to me that we're all on the same bus, and I can do my part just as well as my credit union can do our role for our 10,000 members, just like a giant credit union that has 300,000 members does for them. It's on a different scale, but it's the same gig.
Yeah, we're all just trying to do it better, each and every year. Yeah,
trying to improve bit by bit, incrementally.
Exactly. So, how has your ongoing relationships with Filene created that positive change for your credit union?
Well, over the years, we have piloted a few programs over the years. I think I would say the defining thing that I learned from Filene is don't be afraid to experiment. It's okay to fail. You're going to fail every now and then. That process of innovation, experimentation can be messy.
Oh yeah.
You're going to fail sometimes. What's important is that you fail forward. That's I think a catchphrase that they used to use, that maybe they still do. Learn from your mistakes.
Right.
Try to apply what even if you had a failure, you probably gained some nuggets of wisdom that you can apply to your next iteration of innovation. And so probably more than anything, I'd say that's what it did for me, was just give me the mindset that it's okay to try new things. You don't have to be locked into the status quo. If something doesn't work out, learn from it, move on.
Exactly.
Take the next step. Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. So why do you think this is so? Why do you think the I3 program is so important today? There's obviously a lot of disruption out there, a lot of change, fast-paced change. Why do you? Where does it all fit in with that?
I think it remains as relevant today as it did 15 years ago when they started the program. Looking for ways. One of the things that I always kind of has stuck with me is that the process of innovation is helping a consumer solve a problem that they don't yet realize they have. So that exists just as much in 2017 as it did in 2004 or whenever it was that we started. Looking for ways to improve members' lives, and solving problems for them that they don't understand they have yet. But once we solve the problem, then what was the Henry Ford? If I asked what people wanted, they would have said, a better horse. So kind of that same principle is let's keep looking, let's keep pushing the needle, let's keep looking for things that will improve our members' lives and make them say, wow, I didn't realize that this was going to be so much better, but it is. And they continue to bring extremely bright individuals onto that group. It makes me proud to be one of the original now. Yeah, we're like dinosaurs now, but we still love coming and getting together and catching up on what's going on in our lives. And Big Bright Minds, just to shout out for this particular conference. I think is as a CEO you find yourself going to half a dozen different events a year. I'm sure you get to go to about 50, but just in terms of the content, the making you think about your industry and the future of the industry. I think this is probably, I wouldn't even say probably, this is every year this is one of the best events to be able to attend. So I encourage anybody that's thought, man, I wonder if I should go to that. It's an awesome event.
Get off the couch, come on.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. We're San Diego next year. We'd love to have you in San Diego. Yeah.
Very cool. Tom, I think that's a great message to end on. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you hanging out with us for a few minutes.
My pleasure.
And thanks for the experience, and keep up the good work.
You bet.
Well done,
Thank
man.
you.
Well done, sir. Yay, that was easy. 5 minutes of fun.
Appreciate your help.
Oh, you're welcome.